Hello everyone, I'm glad that you found my YouTube video. My name is Bethany Barnyard and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. You can also find me on Facebook where I have a page called Stamping in the Barnyard. I'd love to have you come and like my Facebook page. The card that we're making today is part of Kits in the Mail that I've started as a new program. Anyone who purchases $50 or more from me in a given month automatically receives 2 card kits in the mail. Or you can purchase them, just the card kits, for $10, and you can contact me through that Facebook page or leave a comment on this video. Today we're going to use the Paradise Palms stamp set, which I've listed here with its item number. It's a beautiful set. It has happy birthday, retirement wishes, wishing you a warm and beachy kind of day, and hope you find a little paradise wherever you may be. And that can work in so many settings, I have found, because when I use the camping set, I use that because I like the idea of a little paradise while you're camping. The stamp sets are beautiful because I don't know if you can tell on the video, but they just really have some nice textured looks to them. But because it's a card class in the mail, I sent out the dies, which we're allowed to do rather than the stamps. And this is the card that we're going to make today, although I'm changing up the colors. The card kit that you have may have these colors, or they may have the colors that I'm using today. But I'm featuring the glimmer paper in the in colors. I love this shiny glimmer paper. I love it in any color really, but these pretty colors in our in colors this year are very beachy in, I was thinking even in name, because I'm going to be using the Orchid Oasis and Tahitian Tide, and it just sounds like those names are perfect for the setting that we're about to do here. So the palm dies, which is what coordinates with Paradise Palms stamp set, I wanted to show you that you can get a palm frond. You get this beautiful palm tree that can be cut out. You can get a sun. You can get a triplet of palm trees, this grassy piece here that we'll be using today, 2 palm trunks, and then the palm fronds to go on top, and then this extra palm frond. So even the dies alone are really useful to make a card, as you'll see today, and you can coordinate it with stamps that you might already have. So I've listed here the item number for the palm dies as well. And then here is the number for the in color glimmer paper. So you're gonna see that this one's the Tahitian Tide glimmer, and I don't know how well the glimmer is showing up on the camera, but in person it's just really nice. And this is our sweet sorbet. And then what I'll be using today is also some sweet sorbet, and it's ombre paper, so it gets lighter. And then here's that Orchid Oasis that's gonna be my water today. And then I did notice that I had some glimmer paper left over from last year that was also ombre. And this is, I don't know if it's pumpkin pie or if it was an in color from last year, but it's no longer available. But if you we do sell the white glimmer paper right now, and you can sponge on any color you want. So the in color glimmer paper this year is a beautiful pack for this card. But if you wanted to do sort of a more orangey or yellow sun in the background, you can just sponge it right on another color of glimmer paper. And in this, well, this is one that's retired, but you could do it right on our white that we're selling. So in your kit, you should have a circle already punched out. That's going to be your sun behind the palm tree. 2 strips that are for your water. And then 1 for your sky. And then you'll have either balmy blue or fresh freesia mounted on either Tahitian Tide or Orchid Oasis. These are the colors we're going to be doing today. You should have a die cut of the grass and a palm tree. And last but not least, of course, is your piece of cardstock already cut and scored. So I wanted to let you know, and I'm going to leave this in front in case you want to pause it for measurements, but this is a thick white cardstock cut at 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches. And then I scored it at 1 inch, 2 1/4 inches, 4 1/4 inches, and 5 1/2 inches. The Blue Orchid Glimmer or the Tahitian Tide Glimmer is at 4 inches by 1 3/4 inches and 4 inches by 1 inch. And then our Sweet Sorbet background is cut at 4 inches, the sky, 4 inches by 3 1/4 inches. And then the piece that we're using on the front, if it's fresh freesia or balmy blue, is cut at 2 inches by 4 inches. And then the mat that goes around it, which I've used Orchid Oasis and Tahitian Tide, they're cut at 2 5/8 by 4 1/8 inches. So that should be all the information you need to repeat this card. Okay, let's get started. All right, I'm going to leave this here so you can see it. You can almost see this coming together before I've done anything. So I'm going to move all my pieces to my side here, because the first thing that we're going to do is to fold these all on their score lines, and you're going to fold them all in the same direction, which if you go mountain valley would be all the mountains, so that it all just curves around. And then you're going to take and put your adhesive or your choice of glue is going to go on the bottom 1 inch strip here. And then you are gonna fold it down. See how that, let me see, fold it down. And then right at that 4 1/4, you're gonna fold it up. So you should be able to see while you're pressing that to adhere to the back of the card, you should be able to just see one score line across here, and then this is the fold of the card. I hope that makes sense, because you're going to want to be able to have this go in an envelope, and this is our normal 5 1/2 inches. Okay, so that's the basic card that we're making. Now we're going to decorate it up. So my recommendation is you start with the water, and so you're either have the Orchid Oasis purpley color water, or, and there's another color in there that also works for ocean water. You can get a lot of these cards out of one pack of that glimmer paper. And you're going to put that right on the front here. And then while that's sitting and hopefully adhering, you're going to take your 1 inch by 4 inch strip of the same color glimmer paper, and we're going to put that on the top here. Excuse me. There we go. And then you're going to take what will be your sky, and you want your darker ombre color at the top, because that's kind of how a sky goes. I had some cereal right before my bowl is sitting right to my right, and now I feel like I have a little bit of bran in my throat. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to put the sky glimmer paper on. Guys, I sure hope I hit start on this video. Otherwise, I'll be making one of your cards and cutting up again. That's okay. It's such a pretty card. I wouldn't mind having extras. Okay, quick and easy and simple, right? Okay, so now take out your either Balmy Blue piece or your Fresh Freesia. And take your punched out Glimmer Sun. And I would say just put that in the top right corner. You don't have to. You can flip your tree over and turn it another way. But that's where I've decided to put it. And that's how these cards are done. And then you're going to take your palm tree, and like me, you probably still have some little pieces in. So I just use my scissors, or I even have a poker. I have two pokers right near me, but my scissors were so close, I grabbed them. You take your pick tool, also has an end that's a poker, and mine's sitting right to my left. Okay, so now you are gonna, I know this extends longer, that's not a problem because we're gonna cut that. So right now you're going to just decide on your placement, and you're gonna adhere it to the front piece of your card. There's lots of kind of fat places where you can put glue on this palm tree, so it's not really that hard to get this glued on. And you could also run this through with adhesive sheets, which we always forget about. If you put adhesive sheet onto your cardstock and then cut this out, you can just peel away the plastic. And you don't have to try and find these little places to put your glue. But I tend not to remember that at the right time, so I'm often doing intricate dies and gluing them down. Now, I know I don't need to worry about the bottom of this so much because I'm going to be cutting it off. So once I have the glue on it, and you have the glue on yours, I'm going to just put that over the sun. Put that down. And then it's as simple as turning it over and trimming this off. There we go. And now you can take your little piece of green grass here. And it's longer than you need. So just decide, do you want to go from this way or this way? We're going to cut it off. I think I went this way on this card here. I took this end. But I think on this one, I'm going to go the other way and just show how it doesn't really make a difference. Look how quickly this card comes together. How many of these you could make. I love them for retirement. I'm sort of a sucker for palm trees. Anyway, you could even make this a Christmas card, you know, thinking of you at Christmas. For those of us who have friends that live up north and are a little jealous of us in the winter time when we're down here. But anyway. Okay, so now notice that I even put the grass lower than the edge of this, because it bends upward a little bit, and I wanted it to completely be green at the base. So now I'm going to come along here, first cut down the side, and then cut down along the bottom and trim that off. See, and then we're done. And now I have given you the tiniest mat here because I really want the background to show. Oh, isn't that so cute? Now I'm lucky because I do have this stamp set. You may, if you're going to be stamping on your card now, this would be the time to do it. I am going to go ahead and put, hope you find a little paradise wherever you may be, right in there. And I'm using Gorgeous Grape. I could use Orchid Oasis and that would look nice too, but I just like these different, because it's ombre water, this will give me all different colors of purple showing up on my card. So here we go. Hope you find a little paradise wherever you may be. I hope you're seeing how this comes up nice with both of the different colors that we're using here. So now I'm going to put this onto my mat. For those of you who maybe made the other card first and you saw the separate video, you may have learned that Daniel finally got his call and he's going up and starting with Cape Air. He's got to start, I don't really quite understand it. He starts virtually on the 12th of September, and then he has to be up in Hyannisport by the 19th of September. So you know that's sad for me, but I'm really happy for him. He's going to be missed. We've sort of gotten quite used to him being around again. And if anybody wants to fly Cape Air, then you'll be supporting him, won't you? So that would be great. All right, so now to decide where to put this. If you put this too high up, then it'll be longer than your card and not fit in the envelope. So what I do is I take the bottom, make sure it's the bottom, and I only put maybe a quarter of the way up my adhesive. And you'll notice I don't take it all the way to the edge because then it oozes out and it's really messy. So I center it this way and this way, and I line it up with the top because then I know it's going to still fit in the envelope. And it should be right about at the edge of your water too. So you just hold that in. Now, one of the things I like about Hope You Find a Little Paradise Wherever You May Be, as I said earlier, this card, I did make it a birthday card, and I put in wishing you a warm and beachy kind of day, which I love, but I like that for retirement as well. And by just putting this part on my card at this time, it leaves my options open for what occasion I'm gonna send this card out. And I, just so you know, I stamped all this afterward. You can just fold it flat and stamp when you're ready to use it, or you could stamp it now if you'd like to. But anyway, there you are. How quick was that? And I think they're just stunning cards. I just want to thank you again. I appreciate so much that you support me in my, we call it a business, but I'll be honest with you, this is something I do because I like to do it. And so support for me in this endeavor keeps me making cards and hopefully keeps me showing you some exciting and fun cards to make. Thanks.